The stock market just took a massive hit, and things are shifting fast. With new tariffs, inflation fears, and major earning reports on the way, this week could make or break your portfolio. But don't worry, I've got you covered. Stay until the end because I'll break down the biggest market moving events and give you guys the top plays and stocks to watch right now. So let's dive in. Before I start, I want to say I'm not a financial advisor. I personally day trade, swing trade, and have a long term. And I try to, every single video, I try to get you guys more knowledge on day trading, swing trading, and long term. I'm also going to include some long term stocks today and some good price points to buy them at. With that being said, we were down on Friday. Friday was probably one of the worst days we could probably see overall. With that being said, we are reaching the low point of SPY. A lot of people thought that, this was the low. We might honestly maybe bounce off of it and or break below it, especially April 2nd, which is Wednesday. We're going to be coming out with new tariffs basically, and that can really move the market up or down depending on how it goes. It might bring down the market, of course, but with that being said, we might be able to see some leniency with the tariffs and maybe bring the market back up and just bounce off of the lows and or make new lows. So keep that in mind, but we will be breaking down everything that you guys need to know. First off, let's get into some news. So first off, we're strapping in for the tariff reveal. Sees no end of fog of uncertainty. So with that being said, April 2nd is going to be one of the biggest things, like I said before. And just keep that in mind because honestly, like I said before, it's going to make or break these lows. We're either going to break past them and or bounce off of them. Honestly, I'm more on the bearish side right now, and you can make some bearish plays. I'm not saying go into Monday, straight into Monday, play some put options, but a lot of people did short some stocks on Friday, and put options are up more. Like the percentage of puts to calls is way more higher, especially on Friday. So keep that in mind. But I will be saying that, you might be able to make a bounce upwards or bounce downwards and or might just consolidate until April 2nd. But with that being said, let's get into some stocks I recommend to look at, especially for next week. Price points. So Palantir is the first one because Palantir, you can get into it. It's a decent stock. And right now, buying it at a discount is the best thing ever because Palantir, honestly, it was moving pretty strong for a while. And then we've been building up. And then with the tariff fears, again, we've been selling out. With that being said, I think getting Palantir at that $80 level to that $70 level can be great. And if we break down below that even more, maybe to that 63, that's just great for your long term. You could play this for like short term day trading. You can probably play it down or up depending on how it goes. But this stock I mainly just look at for long term trades and or swing trades. But honestly, I just recommend looking for a bottom. And once it's green again, you can play some swing trades with this one. Maybe hold it for like a week or two, call option, and just sell it. And also loading into your long term, it is pretty decent. Next one is NVIDIA. The only reason why I'm saying look at NVIDIA because NVIDIA can really move the SPY overall and look at and kind of show how AI stocks and the overall tech stocks are moving. NVIDIA hasn't really made a big move in a while, except for, the other day. But with that being said, look for NVIDIA at its lows of 105. And then if we can break below 105, we can probably see it at 100. And then after 100, we might be able to see 98. And then if we break below 98, look at 95 and then 93. 93 is another key level. And then 90 is going to be another key level. But this one, I recommend looking at that $100 level. And if we get to that $100 level, you could start your long term on NVIDIA and then start dollar cost averaging if we do fall down even more, especially if we get to that $90 level. I'm probably going to load up a lot. I'm going to load up personally at the $100 level. And then if we break down below, we're going to do some dollar cost averaging at 90. But we do have a lot more things with AI, like a lot more positive news basically. And there's like a big AI data center that's going to need, I think, like 400,000 NVIDIA GPUs. So this might bring it up a lot. But right now with that news coming out, we don't really see too much of a shift. So keep that in mind. But yeah, next one is Google. The reason Google is because Google recently fell like almost, I think 20% or something like that. And we're just continuously falling. So we are making new lows with Google overall. But with that being said, I do recommend looking at Google at that 150 to that 145. We do got some decent news. So Google Cloud says incident impacting multiple Google Cloud services in zone US, basically the zone that they're in, has been resolved. So this might bring the stock up on Monday. So you might see a little bit of a shift upwards. It might, but it might not at the same time. So this is why, because like I kind of just showed you guys a bullish play, or a bearish play. Sorry, I showed you guys a bearish play, but this might bring Google up a little bit more. But the tariff news and stuff like that might overshadow this, and you might see Google continue to the downside. Next stock is Tesla, just because Tesla, we kind of just had like a rally upwards, kind of a little bit of a rally upwards, and it's kind of been holding strong, especially with the tariff fears. But we did just have a big sell off on Friday, of course. So look at Tesla to the downside, maybe that 250, 235.7, 218.9. And then if we could break those lows of 215, we might even see Tesla at 200. I kind of want to see Tesla at 200 and below because that's when I'm going to load up my long term personally. But Tesla, honestly, people are saying that this stock can get all the way up to the 500s once again. So keep this one in mind for your long term. I'm not saying that the bottom is near and or like we won't break down lower than 150, but I'm just saying just dollar cost average as it goes down. If you guys do want to load up on your long term, and you could play this on the short term side to the downside. I do want to look at the range between 290 to that 230 to that 218. Look at this range of bouncing for now, and then you can play it like downside first, and then play it back up to like the 270 level. I won't go all the way up to 280, but that 270 level, we might be able to like make like a little bounce back up and then come back down. We might make if we do touch like the 218 lows and then it might bounce up. You might see it at like the 240 to the 260 and then maybe bounce out and make new lows maybe. But Tesla just moves very fast, moves with the news, and there's a lot of bearish news with Tesla still. A lot of people are hating on Elon, of course, and just politics and stuff like that. So keep that in mind. Next one we're gonna be talking about is Bitcoin. The reason Bitcoin, because Bitcoin, we almost had a rally, but we're getting a lot of bullish news. So recently we did get some news saying that this news came out like way before the news I'm going to show you guys now, but this news kind of said that you could maybe get Bitcoin all the way down to that $65,000 level because it didn't break key levels. With that being said, we do got better news now saying that the Bitcoin breaks falling wedge. $110,000 is the next stop, and it's just kind of like a question, not really saying that it could, but saying that it just broke the wedge, and then maybe we can go back up to that 110. We have some other ones saying sees 197 million net inflows as quarter one closes. And then we also have this one kind of showing that 81.4 and 82.4 is going to be the worst case support zone. But kind of saying that you're not really going to see it down at that $62,000 level, but you never really know. But with that being said, looking at Bitcoin, either up or down, just depending on where it goes. I think with the tariffs and stuff like that, you might see it go down again, maybe to that 82, to that 80. As of right now, we're trading at 83,000, almost 84,000 basically. So we're kind of a little bit up. It's like $100 more than what it closed at. But with that being said, I do recommend looking at stocks like MSTR, Coinbase, and IBIT. IBIT is like an ETF that moves with Bitcoin, so you can make some good short-term trades. I normally do swing trades with this one, depending on how Bitcoin really looks. And then Coinbase and MSTR, you can kind of do the same thing, but I like to day trade these just because how fast they move. With that being said, I do recommend looking at MSTR at that 250 range. So if we can fall down a little bit more with Bitcoin, we can get MSTR at that 250 range and then play a little call option upwards, but only if you see Bitcoin bounce upwards. Once Bitcoin bounces upwards, this stock is going to bounce upwards too. Especially low key, Bitcoin kind of moves fast too, especially we've seen recently. But with that being said, MSTR and Coinbase are good things to look at. So now let's get into some news before we get into some more plays and supports and resistance. But home builders face muted spring selling season. So basically high mortgage rates and tariff uncertainty. Right now the housing market is kind of looking a little bit more bad, and people's loans is getting a little bit more bad to say. So you might see a little bit of a drop, but there's like a loan company that loans out to people that has like more than I think their debt to income rate is like more than like 55% or something like that. They don't have that much money, and their credits like I think 500 or below or something like that, or 500 or above, sorry. And recently we've been seeing a lot of like an uptick on those type of loans getting delinquent. So with that being said, that is making the housing market look a little bit bad. The housing market to like the stock market rate, you kind of want both to be positive to have a positive market overall, but just wanted to include that. But this is something that I kind of said in the past, like a bunch of times. Basically, Tesla American-made cars won't get hit as hard by auto tariffs, just because every car that they sell in the United States, it's like I think it's 100%. It's 100% of what Teslas basically make in the United States. So the tariffs aren't really going to be affecting Teslas too much. So and it's going to be more positive because other companies they have to upcharge because they have to pay tariffs. But since Tesla makes their cars in the United States. They don't really have to upcharge, so that's a little bit more positive. So with that being said, this is the earnings release for this week. It's not really too insane, you know. It's the ending of March, you know. You're not really gonna look at too much, but if you guys want a screenshot, you guys can take a screenshot. I'm not really looking forward to any of these, but if you guys are, comment down below which stocks you guys are looking at for earnings. Maybe BlackBerry, but BlackBerry is kind of like dead. I'm just curious to see how the business is doing, you know, and some what is going on next week. So Monday we just got Chicago business PMI, and then Tuesday we have more. We got some SPY PMIs, construction spending, ISM, manufacturing, job openings, auto sales. We got a Fed president speaking. Wednesday we got ADP employment, factory orders, another Fed governor speaking. Thursday, we got initial jobless claim. Oh, Wednesday. Sorry, don't forget about the tariffs. They're going to become official, so that can move the markets. So keep that in mind. Thursday, we got initial jobless claims that can move the market. U.S. trade deficit, SPY, U.S. services PMI, ISM services, some other speakers, and then Friday. We have a loaded Friday, so we have U.S. employment report, U.S. unemployment rate, this can really move the markets because this could show inflation and stuff like that, just how the overall economy is moving. U.S. hourly rate wages can also move too. So just look at the rates basically. And then we also got year over year hourly wages. We got Jerome speaking on Friday at 11:25 a.m. Let's hope he's not late. And I think that this might move the markets. You know, he loves to move the markets. So keep that in mind for Friday. So this is from before, but a lot of people were shorting GameStop because we had like a little bit of a rally upwards, and then it started falling a lot, and then we're kind of rallying back up. I don't know. GameStop is just really volatile right now. You can make some good short term plays. Maintenance and repair costs by brand. I thought it was kind of interesting because Tesla is one of the lowest, and the 10-year cost is like the lowest out of like all their car companies. Land Rover, Porsche, Mercedes, Audi, they're all like pretty high. But I think like to get an oil change on a Porsche, like a 911 or something, is like incredibly expensive. So that might have brought on like the average. So these are some of the best stocks to buy. You know, I include some of these in the videos, but Apple, Microsoft, Nvidia, Amazon, Alphabet, Meta, and some other ones, Tesla. But I thought it was interesting because now Nvidia is number 3 now on the ranking. Microsoft is coming back. Microsoft is doing pretty decent. I do recommend looking into Microsoft. Microsoft might even bypass Apple. I'm not even gonna lie. Microsoft is doing pretty decent, especially if Apple keeps falling. But I mean, Apple's just a great stock overall. So we have its worst quarter since 2023 with the SPY overall. So keep that in mind. This is a little chart I wanted to show y'all. But I mean, this is something to kind of include in, but a lot of people are saying that people don't have that much savings and stuff like that, but 20% say that they have more savings now than the start of 2024. But people are just more uncertain. So I think they're just like coming up with $2,000 in case of an emergency, especially right now. There's NVIDIA potential Lepton AI buyout concerns. It was crazy. We had a bunch of money liquidated from the cryptocurrency in the past 60 minutes. That was, I think, on Friday, I think. So before we said that it's not really going to hit them that hard, and then we also came out with a post saying that Elon Musk saying Trump auto tariffs will hit Tesla hard, but probably not. So we have Ferrari to raise prices up to 10% to offset auto tariffs, which is insane. I mean, it's not that bad. It's not like they're up costing it by 25, but 10% is kind of insane. So if you guys were interested in buying a Ferrari, nah, it's not that. Another one is Bentley super rich customers could bear the burnt of Trump tariffs cost. Honestly, I mean, the super rich customers, they're probably not even going to care that much. They're probably making a lot of money right now. We have the first data center complex for OpenAI's $100 billion infrastructure has 400,000 of NVIDIA's powerful, or will have space for 400,000 of NVIDIA's powerful AI chips. So keep that in mind. This is something I talked about a little bit earlier. Because OpenAI, honestly, man, crazy. So basically, the worst month is probably this month for the SPY. They're on track for the worst month since December 2022. So keep that in mind. We're having a big sell off. I mean, it's just kind of common, but I mean, it's not common, but it's just, I mean, we seen it coming, you know. Okay, let's move on to the charts, what everybody's here for. So basically, SPY, you know, I would recommend looking at that 551.4 to that 549.6 to see how the lows are going to meet. Because, I mean, we're very, very close to it. I'm not even going to lie. We're literally a few bucks from hitting a new low. I mean, I personally think that we will hit a new low. We'll either hit a new low and or bounce, but I think it's like 80% chance that we're gonna hit a new low. But it's probably not gonna be that bad. We might like go down maybe to 46 to 45 and then maybe start bouncing, but it'll just be rendered as a new low. So keep that in mind. So I think on next week I'm gonna be looking for some short plays with SPY. I like to look at it on how it's looking overall. I think like 2 weeks ago to like last week when we were getting this rally right here, I was playing more call options just because the market overall was going green. So I think now I'm going to be scouting out some put options just to play it short. But keep in mind that playing it near a new low and even a near like let's say this is high and this is a low, playing it near a high is kind of risky. So I would recommend waiting for it to break the high and then have like a little like a stable place showing that it broke the high and then going up. Same thing with a low. Like if it breaks the low, I'd probably play like a short option like here and then have a stop loss around the low, not really at the low, but maybe a little bit before. But with that being said, if you do want to play it and it's pretty close to the low, I recommend waiting for it to either break the low and or bounce to make your play. Don't play it directly on the low because sometimes you might make that bounce because it's going to be a key level. So you want to wait until it breaks and then shows that it's broken and shows that it's going to keep on going down, and that's when you can make your play. So be very, very careful if you guys are playing put options, but I do recommend looking at a put option for SPY. Apple, we are kind of dying down, so Apple has a little bit more, like a little bit more of a gap. So I recommend looking at Apple all the way down to that 210 if you do play a short option. But with that being said, don't play it on the lows. So the low is like 208. So I think 210 to that 212 is a decent level to look at. Downside, you can still make a decent amount of money. But yeah, Nvidia, I mean, honestly, Nvidia, I think we can break past the lows, especially if the tariffs are worse than we think. So I would recommend looking at. I mean, if you want to play like a short option right away and you see the market going down, I would play it until like 106, and then maybe be a little bit patient. Maybe play another play if it does break the lows and if SPY is going down. Look at SPY too. Like SPY is going to kind of show you guys the moves to say. Same thing with Palantir. I think I would watch it and then play like a put option and then just play it until 80 to that $78 level. And then if we go up, just do it the same thing with the highs, play it upwards, and then I'll probably play it until like 90, honestly. That being said, same thing with Tesla. I would look at Tesla at like that 250 to that 240 if I do play a put option and get out. Take profit, take profit. Honestly, don't be greedy. The greedy people. I feel like being greedy gets you killed in life. Or just makes you lose a lot. So I think we can see Tesla down at that 240 once again, maybe even 220. But kind of like the tariffs aren't really affecting it as much as we think. So don't really play Tesla too far down unless we get like horrible news and or just people are just shorting Tesla a lot. I mean, we see that a lot, but yeah. Last but not least, I do want to look at GameStop, see how it's moving because we did have a big sell off. So we did have a big rally and then a big sell off. So keep that in mind. I think we are around like a key level right now. So I think if we break below like that $19 level, we have movements all the way down to like $10 to that $7 level. So keep that in mind for GameStop because a lot of people are selling off and a lot of people are uncertain about their new moves. So keep that in mind. With that being said, thanks for watching the video. Smash the like button, subscribe if you guys are new, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.